couldn't be a Toys R Us kid. More gays, more toys. Oh boy, I want to be a Toys R Us kid.
Before Toys R Us would become a global chain with stores in 37 countries, including Australia, Canada, France, the Netherlands, Germany, Switzerland, Austria, Portugal, Spain, the United Kingdom, and all over Asia. Before Toys R Us's mascot, Jeffrey was one of the top 25 mascots of all time in a 2010 poll made by AOL.
Do you guys like toys? Well, I don't have any because we're bankrupt.
Before the toy giant would file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and would have to close its doors throughout the US and the UK.
Why don't you all fade away? Don't try to dig what we all see.
Honestly guys, Toys R Us played a huge role during my childhood. When I was a kid, there was no Walmart or Target and places that sold toys. They didn't have the dope Beast Mode Transformers or the Power Rangers Megatron. You know, when they came to market, that's all I wanted, so I had to go to Toys R Us. I'd beg my parents to go there, and then they would complain about the cost. The Megatron was $99.99, and it turns out it was even too expensive for Santa. Yeah. Now everyone can get nostalgic about Toys R Us, but last month the company closed its doors throughout the US and the UK. Now if it weren't sad enough news, the company's founder Charles Lazarus, he also passed away at the age of 94 while his beloved company collapsed. What's going on guys, it's your boy Michael McCrudden documenting the life and death of Toys R Us, here for you on Before They Were Gone. Now I was gonna give this video a skip, but I kept getting requests from you guys. As always, I'm working off the requests, so keep them coming in. I've also made videos on other corporations including McDonald's and Walmart, and as always let me know who you want me to document next. Snapchat, I got my eye on you, because I feel like you guys are on your last legs. The story of Toys R Us begins with Charles Lazarus, who was born on October 4th, 1923 in Washington, D.C. Now after serving in World War II, he returned home to D.C. where his father owned a bicycle shop. He wanted to start a small business of his own, and baby furniture seemed like a good idea because following the war, everyone was getting ready to settle down and start a family.
Everybody I met in service said they were going to go home and get married and have children. And I decided that, along with the entree from my uncle, who had influenced me greatly, was enough for me to go into the baby furniture business.
In 1948, at the age of 25, Charles opened Children's Bargain Town below his father's bike shop. This was on 18th Street in Northwest Washington. Initially, they only sold baby furniture like strollers and cribs, but soon one parent in particular asked for something else.
How about a toy for my baby? I looked at him and said, what do you mean a toy? Well, you know, something to play with in the high chair or in the playpen or in the stroller. So the first toys we sold were baby toys, all baby toys.
Working off that suggestion, he began stocking baby toys. Soon enough, a parent returned to the store to replace a toy after the first one broke. Charles knew he was onto something good. He might only sell one crib to a family, but toy customers would keep coming back. Plus, people were typically having more than one kid. In less than a decade, Charles opened his first store strictly focused on children's toys, and after several different names, he settled on Toys R Us with the R backwards, to make it look as if a kid had drawn it themselves.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
He modeled his stores after supermarkets with aisles and stacks of toys, also people using shopping carts. He would also place large orders big enough to get products at discounts so he could pass those on to the shoppers. Another key part to his business was the sale of baby products like diapers and formula, so it also opted as a destination store for families with babies, and it kept customers coming in the doors all year round. Now Charles had a few other tricks up his sleeve. Instead of paying for products, he forced toy makers to allow him a few extra months to pay them back. He also demanded exclusive and early releases of some of their toys, and well, business was booming.
Sometimes they ask me, how did you ever get to be that big? And I said, well, one day I decided to open the second store. And after that, it seemed to get easier.
In 1965, the company's mascot was first introduced as Dr. Giraffe, and over the years he would evolve with the company and take on the name of Jeffrey. He also was joined by a wife and kids. He appeared in his first TV commercial back in 1973.
The Toys R Us time of year. The world's biggest toy stores, Toys R Us. The biggest selection, Toys R Us.
As I mentioned, business was booming, and there were locations popping up all over the country with plans to go international. Toys R Us had become as iconic as McDonald's. So the company, of course, they went public in 1978 and quickly became a Wall Street favorite. In 1980, the Los Angeles Times called Toys R Us one of the New York Stock Exchange hottest stocks. Another hot property in the 80s was also the Toys R Us jingle.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. They got a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
In '83, the first Kids R Us clothing store opened its doors. The next year, they broke ground internationally. And Charles, a man of progress, he knew to keep his eye on advancements, so he was looking out for what was next with technology. A 1985 Wall Street Journal article said, each product is tracked by a computer, and that helps the chain spot hot-selling items weeks before most competitors do. One thing that sets the Toys R Us operation apart is that Mr. Lazarus knows precisely what his customers are buying. Charles set up a computerized inventory system so that from his desk, he could see every product sold and what he needed to restock. Yeah, this guy was like Santa Claus, but for real. Although Santa Claus is real. Let's move on.
Who the heck are you?
What are you talking about? I'm Santa Claus.
No, you're not.
The media gave him the nickname of being the Toy King. In 1990, he was inducted into the Toy Industry Association Hall of Fame, credited with revolutionizing the industry and building a globally recognized brand.
Keep your eye on where you want to go. You can't do it unless you really want it, and if you want it, don't let anything stop you.
I actually kind of feel like that with this business. Now in the 90s, Toys R Us started facing some difficulties. For starters, Walmart started offering lower prices on diapers, and by the end of the decade, well, they were outselling Toys R Us in the toys category. Toys R Us didn't give up, they opened doors in Japan and started Babies R Us in '96. They also reimagined Jeffrey to make him look and sound younger.
Bet I do. Coleco's Dargon and Dragonfly, Spiderex and Spiderflyer, battery-operated hands and figures, $25.97 each.
In 2000, Toys R Us wanted to get in on the .com craze and decided to enter into a 10-year contract to be the exclusive vendor of toys on Amazon.com. But Amazon, they began to allow other toy vendors to sell on its site, in spite of the deal, which is pretty nasty. Toys R Us ended up suing Amazon and won, but by now they were already behind the 8 ball when it came to order-to-your-door delivery. They also transformed good old Jeffrey once again, this time into a real-life talking giraffe voiced by Tom Hanks' brother Jim. For real.
So you guys all have ultra superpowers?
Yep,
And you fight an evil monkey bent on ruling the world?
that's about the size of it.
Wow, a talking monkey. What will they think of next?
Damn, must suck to be Tom Hanks' brother. Now, despite opening a flagship store in Times Square complete with a 3-story Ferris wheel, a life-size Barbie dollhouse, and a 20-foot high animatronic T-Rex, which cost millions, well, the business, it was still struggling. In 2003, they closed up their Kids R Us stores, the company was taken private and saddled with debt. You know, probably because of that Jim Hanks booking. So what do? Well, of course, they reimagined Jeffrey once again, back to a cartoon, but this time with gold stars for spots. And he was kind of 3D. Listen, I could go on and on, but things were going downhill fast. They closed the Times Square store in 2015, and despite tons of effort, well, the company was forced into bankruptcy in 2018. The saddest news was the timing of the company's founder, Charles. Yeah, he passed away in March of 2018. And one of the company's final tweets, they stated, "There have been many sad moments for Toys R Us in recent weeks, and none more heartbreaking than today's news about the passing of our beloved founder, Charles Lazarus. Our thoughts and prayers are with Charles' family and loved ones." Now, you hate to say it, but the decline of the company must have hurt him a whole bunch. Now, if you live in the US or the UK, I'm sorry to tell you, Toys R Us is no more, and a lot of people lost their jobs. But there is still a glimmer of hope. Here in Canada, the company is still alive and well, and at the time of this recording, a billionaire toy maker has offered to buy what remains of the company. Also, there were people throwing raves in an abandoned UK store, so at least someone's having fun with the brand. Still, as for the rest of the story, well, I'm gonna wrap this one up here because this is before they were gone. Also, Jim Hanks, I'm sorry for poking a little fun. My name is Michael McCrudden and we make all sorts of videos here on this channel. We do celebrity bios, we do bios on memes, and corporations. If you're new to this channel, be sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Boom!
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Oh, no.
There's a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with.